being able to look at the region as a whole where we can build regional market leaders. It's a very exciting time as we look to leverage the ecosystem that we've built over 30 years in Asia and the strength of the franchise that we have. I'm Joel Thickins, and I'm the co-head of Asia for TBG. Asia is an incredibly interesting place, and there's a lot of different dynamics happening in the region at the moment. I think as we look across the region as a whole, we still see a lot of growth and structural tailwinds in alternatives in general. And that applies to private equity, that applies to real estate, private credit, infrastructure. Asia is still 60% of the global GDP, and generally speaking, it's growing at twice the rate of North America and Europe. So the fundamentals are there. We've got a market in India, from a public markets perspective, is the busiest and most dynamic market globally. It's all about growth and obviously the modernization of the economy, the wealth effect of the middle class. We've had a reawakening in Japan from deflation to now an inflationary environment. A lot of capital market flows into Japan and now some larger transactions occurring. We think as the market gets mature, there is a movement to scale, to players that have deep competitive advantages, have sectoral expertise, have regional footprints, and have the ability to leverage multiple asset classes to better effect. So being able to partner with somebody like TBG that has over 30 years in the market, sector specialization, and real operational value add is a huge point of advantage. Australia is an interesting part of the Asia landscape insofar as it has a lot of developed market depth. It has access to sort of the export markets in the US, but is inextricably linked to trade in Asia. China's the #1 trading partner for Australia. Japan's the second largest trading partner. We're seeing significant growth in ASEAN as supply chains are repurposing themselves. So it has a lot of the benefits of developed markets, but with a lot of flow into, in terms of growth and into Asia. But also this next chapter is even more interesting because of the facilitation of trade between the regions. Australia signed free trade agreements with India, with Japan, with Korea, with various Southeast Asian markets. So there is a lot of flow, both in terms of migration, in terms of capital, in terms of trade, with Australia into Asia, which is helping grow even more. And so as we look forward over the next 5 or 10 years, I think you will see increasing partnerships between the countries at the political level, but also in terms of businesses at the regional level, looking to expand their footprint and share in terms of talent, capital, technology, et cetera. Our strategy, I think, in generally speaking, globally, is growth orientation. And so in Australia, we have focus on those segments of the market where Australia is globally competitive and where there is the opportunity to pursue international expansion. So that has historically been healthcare, non-discretionary consumer, education, and increasingly software. So those segments of the economy that are in structural growth, where as a country, Australia has some natural advantages, and where access to Asia growth is a big part of the story of the company that we're looking to invest behind.